Welcome, everyone. This is Alicia, COO, Great Place to Work, Greater China. Once again, I have the honor to invite Teresa and Stacy joining me to talk to Wing, one of a very outstanding employee in DHL. That is also the Best Workplaces Award winner in 2019. They are going to talk to us about how women feel fearless and no boundaries in their workplace. Hand it over to you, Teresa.
Thank you so much, Alicia. My name is Teresa Norton. I am a senior executive coach, and I run a business called StarMaker with my son, Sam Boberts, where we do corporate training using theater as a background. And in fact, we're going to explore a little bit of theater in a tool called the Story Spine today as we explore Wing's story. But first, I'd just like to say good morning to Dr. Stacy Lee Ford, who researches gender, generation, and leadership at the University of Hong Kong. Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning, Teresa, Wing, and Alicia. Happy to be here.
Great. Alicia, thank you for opening the session up for us. And I think we can get started with the Story Spine. This particular tool was created by a colleague and friend of mine, Ken Adams. It's a tool for creating well-structured stories, and it uses sentence fragments that prompt narrative elements of the story. That means that you can take a story apart and look at different points at which the story would have changed direction. So we're going to explore Wing's story about Great Place to Work, DHL, and how it is a wonderful place for women to work. So let's get started. Once there was a fearless and sincere university graduate named Wing who returned to Hong Kong from the United States, where she'd been part of a cultural exchange program at Walt Disney World. Wing enjoyed her experience in the U.S. and decided she wanted to work with a company that cared about people. And DHL attracted her because of their purpose, connecting people, improving lives. Now, logistics was traditionally seen as a man's industry. So when Wing first joined as a telesales executive, she had to be assertive, proactive, and ask for the information she needed to learn about the logistics industry. And every day she came to work determined to overcome any challenges with a can-do attitude and commitment to succeed. Until one day, opportunity knocked. She was promoted to field sales executive, where only 4 out of 25 team members were females. At first, Wing's customers were skeptical that a woman would continue to show up at the warehouses in the factory districts of Hong Kong. But Wing was committed and was not going to let other people's assumptions be an obstacle to her success. Not only did she continue to show up, Wing was ranked as the top salesperson 3 years in a row. And because of that, Wing's manager encouraged her to step outside her comfort zone and apply for a managerial position. Wing told him she worried that she didn't have the ability or experience to lead an all-male team, but her manager told her she'd gained the experience by doing the job and that she certainly had the ability after all. She'd been awarded Employee of the Year for Sales Excellence twice. And because of that, Wing fearlessly applied for the position and was rewarded with a promotion to field sales account manager. Until finally now, Wing confidently leads that all-male team and is big sister and mentor for them, providing coaching and encouraging them to work as one towards excellence. And so that fearless and sincere university graduate is paving the way for the next generation of young women to find their success in what is no longer strictly a man's industry. Wing, what a great story this is, and so many different moments where it could have twisted and turned in a different direction, but because you showed that initiative and spoke up and clearly are working in an environment that encourages that, it has had a happy ending. Look, I know you have an initiative that you lead called Men's Talk. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Wing?
Yeah, actually, Men's Talk is a casual form of communication within our team. As I'm the only female in the team, so I call it Men's Talk. Its purpose is to build up great employee relation with my team by fostering a relatively casual and freestyle chat atmosphere. We can have Men's Talk anytime and anywhere. We can do it during or after office hour, or can be in office or outside the workplace. During the chats, I will share my experience in selling and customer management, while providing coaching and support to my team. Our chat also touched on personal interests such as hobbies, families, or even the latest mobile games. At DHL, we strongly believe that great employee relations is built on trust, openness, and dialogue. Having great employee relations enable us better engage my team to work as one and make continuous improvement from good to great.
That's great. That's wonderful. Listen, second question here, and then I'm going to hand over to Dr. Ford. Do you think women need to adjust themselves to a man's workplace, or do you think men need to adjust to a new workplace?
I would say to a certain extent, it depends on the workplace culture. Here in DHL, we do not have any work boundary between men and women. Women and men can work well together as one. We can pursue our career development within the company based on performance and competency required for the position. Gender is never a determining factor. Our company is very supportive about employee career development. There are different programs offered to potential staff, such as Management Competency Development Program. The company also recognizes the employees' effort through internal and external recognition programs, regardless of gender. Take myself as an example. I have received the company's Employees of the Year for 2 times. I'm also nominated by the company to participate in the HKMA Outstanding Salesperson Award and was awarded as one of the top 5 candidates. What I think is here in Hong Kong, the challenge of female would be more of their dual roles as working mothers. It's really not easy for them to strike a good balance between work and family.
Well, listen, on that happy note, I'm going to hand over to Dr. Ford. There are so many different interesting conversations that can be unpacked from this. What does your research tell you? What sort of things come up for you, Dr. Ford?
First of all, commendation to Wing and to DHL for really helping us think about new narratives, new ways of men and women working together, and thinking about the ways in which workplaces really can ensure the well-being and the progression of all of its employees. So I don't want to take away any of that idealism. I want to maybe think about a little bit of data that shows us that although women are talking more, there's actually more men's talk generally in all organizations. So the fact that Wing has had to work so hard to empower herself to speak is no small thing. So we want to think about the ways in which women who may not have the same sort of confidence initially that Wing has, how can all of us in workplaces listen, do a better job of celebrating all sorts of communication styles, and really look for the potential that employees, whether they are male or female, have to contribute. Another thing to think about is we are in now this moment where companies and individuals are dealing with COVID-19, and the cascading effects of the global pandemic we are finding really are falling more profoundly on women and people who are actually on the front lines of caregiving. So I think just paying attention to, as Wing reminded us, how does the work of care impact what we are doing at work? But we have a lot to learn from DHL and a lot to learn from Wing. It's a hopeful story.
Thanks so much. Listen, I'm going to hand over now to Alicia Tung, who is COO for Great Place to Work, Greater China. Can you wrap this up, Alicia, by helping us understand and to illustrate why DHL is such a great place for women to work?
Right. I think we have got a lot of information from firsthand Wing and also sharing with us the insights. And they all sound wonderful, but many people might be wondering how. So I have a privilege actually to have their all details about how they build up their culture. And then some of them really impressed me that even myself rarely see other companies doing. So for example, they are actually opening all job opportunities, that is as long as it is vacant, to everyone in the company. So which means there's no boundary for the applicants. No matter your gender, where you are, location, department, functions, you are allowed to actually give it a try. So I think this is definitely making people feel offering fair opportunities. And they are also more than that. I'm very impressed to see one statement they put about the Women's Day. Well, on Women's Day, they offer flowers to female, which is, a lot of companies doing this, but they are also doing the same thing to the male employees so they can bring them back to their families. And this is why DHL is able to become one of the top 5 in terms of best workplaces among all of the award winners, because all of the little things they have been putting together, including what Wing explained to us, activities, daily communications, and all of the constant measures behind what we can see actually create the great workplaces with a lot of fun. So on average, their statement, this is a fun place to work. This is where I consider not just a job, but more meaningful work. These 2 statements far above average of the entire Greater China. So I would say wonderful and congratulations to DHL.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you, Wing. Wonderful. Thank you for being the heroine of our story. It was great to hear how you have, achieved so much by your own initiative and the support of the programs that are in place at DHL to make it best workplace for women. Dr. Ford, wonderful to have you with us, and we look forward to having you back with us again for our next series of interviews. If you have something that you'd like to share, a comment that you'd like to make, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And for now, we just want to say, have a great day, get out there. If you don't like the news, go out and make some of your own.
Thank you.